Welcome to Wide Eye Sports, the home of everything NFL, taking the stage as usual. Your favorite sports nuts and couch quarterbacks. Here is your starting lineup. Brenner Mills, Minnesota Vikings. Just want to win one before I die.
I'm Riley Mills, and I didn't go to college. Bear down, baby.
Lane Cooner, the conductor of the Baker train.
All right, everybody, what is going on? We are Wide Eye Sports. We just did the intro, so you know who we are and why we're here. I was ready to talk a little Week 8, little Week 9 action in the NFL. I mean, it was not good to any of us. If you can't tell, I am a massive Vikings fan. Riley is a massive Bears fan. And for those of you who don't know, Spoon is a massive Cowboys fan. So, and part-time Baker Mayfield train conductor. So it is, yeah, it is painful. This week on the show, we had some rough games. Riley loses on a Hail Mary. I lose on the most egregious face mask no call I've ever seen. And Spoon loses to probably his most hated rival outside of the division in a very tender way. So just rough.
Yeah, it was exciting. We saw Josh Allen throw his first interception of the season as well.
We did.
Yeah. It took him 8 weeks. That's pretty impressive.
That's great. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes have full-on switch positions. Mahomes like second in the NFL in interceptions behind Baker and Jordan Love, and then Josh Allen's thrown like one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions thrown than touchdowns. Yes, he does.
Probably.
That is wild. That is a wild stat. I would not have even bet on that.
I wouldn't have bet on that at plus 5,000. I wouldn't have bet on that. But no. All right. Well, if you don't know, every week we go over our biggest winners, biggest losers from the prior week, and then we look ahead, holding ourselves accountable to some predictions, and then we preview the spreads for the upcoming week. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into things with biggest winners and biggest losers. You mind if I start with my biggest winner?
Go ahead.
All right. My biggest winner this week is kind of an oddball, something that we don't really normally do. We normally go for the bigger names, the more flashy kind of thing. My biggest winner this week is George Kittle. And you're like, what? Why Kittle? Well, for those of you who don't know, Sunday was National Tight Ends Day. So I felt I had to pick a tight end to be my MVP of the week, respectively.
You didn't pick K-Dot. Come on
now. The reason for that is because Kittle had the most receiving yards of any tight end.
Okay.
Otten had more touchdowns, but Kittle went 6 for 128 and a touchdown, the tight end's yardage leader on National Tight End Day. So for that reason and that reason alone, George Kittle, you are my MVP of Week 8. You also got the dub. So, that's my MVP. What do you guys got? Who wants
Riley,
to go
I'll let you go. I'll do something different.
So my biggest winner this week was Jameis Winston. Coming in for Cleveland, eating them dubs, baby. Going up against what looked like the dominant Baltimore Ravens going into Cleveland. And for as long as the fans have been saying bench Deshaun Watson, they finally do it, and Jameis Winston comes out and goes for 270 and 3 tuds.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson is the worst starting quarterback in the league. He should have been benched weeks ago, but they couldn't afford to.
Yeah, until he got hurt.
Yeah, hurt.
I feel like the Browns just need something exciting right now, and letting Jameis
spark.
And I feel like that's what Jameis Winston has always kind of been. He's just been just a slinger of the football. He just throws it, hopes that somebody's there. He's sometimes a little inaccurate, but he can still get the ball there, and that's exactly that's how he played against the Ravens. So
I would like to say that Deshaun Watson should not have been the quarterback for several weeks. It was very apparent, and everybody is talking about this Anthony Richardson thing of like, I've never seen a quarterback take a play just because they retired. I watched Deshaun Watson earlier this season on a 4th down with the game on the line. Get like, nah, I'm not running a play, coach. I'm done. And went and walked and sat on the bench when they had a chance to win the game still. So he is so bad, has no will to win. I'm out on Deshaun Watson, have been for years, and he gone. Spoon, who's your biggest winner of the week?
Well, it was Jameis Winston, but I figured I'd teeter and go somewhere else. So I'm just going to give a shout out to the Buffalo Bills going into Seattle and just crushing Seattle.
Dominating.
Yeah, by 21 points. Very good win. Despite Josh Allen throwing his first interception, it's still a very good win in my book. So
same here. I agree. They played a dominant game, and against a team who the prior week had just dominated Atlanta. Seattle's coming off a road domination victory against the Falcons in Atlanta. I mean, they had every reason to be as confident as all get out and play high level of ball, and Buffalo said, nah.
nope.
All right. I'm going to go last with my biggest loser, so who wants to go first?
I'll go. I've got two. I'll go light on one and then hammer the other.
I figured. I think I know which one you're hammering.
So the one I'll tread lightly on is the Colts and Anthony Richardson. For them to give up on a project quarterback.
Yep.
I assume what they're thinking is they're going to win now with Joe Flacco, but with Joe Flacco, I don't think they get past the wild card spot. Like, I don't see what the great benefit is to benching Anthony Richardson unless there's something going on behind the scenes that we haven't heard about. There was the hoopla about him taking a play off because he was tired. Maybe that rubbed guys the wrong way. I don't know.
Yeah. It's unacceptable to do that, first of all. I would like to say that.
Yeah, and it kind of shocked me. He said it so casually, like, "Oh yeah, I was tired, so I came out." It's like, what?
Yeah,
But
unacceptable.
So now the one I'm gonna hammer. My Chicago Bears. I mean, for 3.5 quarters, the game was unwatchable. I mean, the offense could not get anything going. And then the one bright spot was in the fourth quarter. Caleb Williams halfway came alive. We had the 2 scores, but then you have to tie the game on the goal line. You run fullback dive with your backup center and fumble the football. That is the best play you can come up with on the goal line. We then get the ball back, we score, the game's tied, and then there's the big Hail Mary. Me and Brenner kind of went back and forth on it on an episode earlier this week. But before the Hail Mary, there was a 15 to 20 yard out that got them into Hail Mary range. I don't like how Flus essentially gave them that. He had the entire secondary back 30, 40 yards. That put them in position to throw a Hail Mary. Now, that Hail Mary was still short. It bounced into the end zone. And then you have the Tyreek Stevenson stuff. It was just an all-around meltdown. The best player on the Bears that game was our punter, Torrey Taylor. He has been an absolute menace.
Caleb told me he wouldn't be punting very much, though.
He has been. And he has been doing a damn good job.
Yeah, no, I will... we like you said earlier, we talked about it and we disagree. I think Tyreek Stevenson should be cut. I mean, that's a cuttable offense. I mean, it's a fireable offense. Like, you can't. I mean, one, you're mocking. Well, for Tyreek, he's mocking the fans. Doesn't hold on. Mocking the fans, doesn't realize the play has started. So then he realizes the play has started, scrambles to go get in on the play, does the wrong thing on the play, and his guy scores.
Yes.
4 things on one play. I mean, all he had to do.
I agree with you on that, but the fact is,
Flus was trying to keep them out of field goal range on the first play. Just no chance of getting into field goal range. You're going to have to settle for a Hail Mary. And I like that thought process much more than playing legitimate defense, giving up a 40-yard play, and then them being in field goal range out the gate. Like, I like the thought of forcing them into a Hail Mary.
This is the 4th game in the last year where the Bears have had a 94% or higher win probability in the fourth quarter, and we've lost all 4 of those games.
Yeah.
A Bears beat writer did the math on it. There is a 1 in a million chance that you lose all 4 of those games when you have that high of win percentages that late. I mean,
I feel your pain.
Flus, I've never really been on his camp. I think his closest comp is Robert Saleh. At the end of the day, he's in charge of the team, not just the defense, and he seems to constantly find ways to lose or has bad situational awareness, not challenging plays that shouldn't be challenged.
Yeah.
The
That's fair.
blame goes everywhere this week.
So just the Chicago Bears. That's your biggest loser.
The entire franchise. Sell the team.
Right.
I'm still not off that train. Come on, McCaskey.
Spoon, who's your biggest loser?
Man, it was tough to decide because I could pick the Jets again. Losing to the Patriots is a little embarrassing.
Just every week, the Jets.
Yeah, just every week. I could go with the Ravens, but I think there's a worse L on here, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. So first of all, this game was tied. They lost by 20 points, and this game was tied going into halftime. And then I would say I think it didn't happen until around the 4-minute mark. They were tied throughout most of the third quarter. And then they gave up 20 straight points to lose 37-17. Yeah. You can't do that. You can't do that at home. That's embarrassing if I'm a Bengals fan. Like,
yep.
I probably would have left before the game was even over at that point. But that's my big L of the week is Cincinnati.
All right. Well, I let you guys go first because I have a little bit of a rant here. And my biggest L of the week is the NFL fandom. Everybody who's a fan of the NFL, you are my biggest loser because of the current situation regarding NFL referees. I mean, this is borderline unwatchable, borderline I won't even say borderline. It's just pathetic. Like, full-time refs. One, we need full-time refs. Like, fuck, you're running a multi-billion-dollar industry. You can pay the 50 referees you have on staff to be year-round full-time employees. You can afford it. Okay?
Yeah.
First of all, that is my number one complaint. Second of all, I would like to petition to change the pass interference and holding penalties to holding is only called if it directly impacts the play via where the ball is spotted at the end of the play. So it only counts if it impacts the play directly. And pass interference is changed to when it comes to like wide receivers, if the offensive player initiates contact beyond 5 yards, all pass interference penalties are nullified. They cannot commit pass interference.
So,
yeah,
no, go ahead. I agree with the second one, but the holding though, that's because you could have a wide receiver being held 10 yards downfield and the quarterback's looking that way, but he can't.
Well, then it counts. Then you can throw the flag because the quarterback's looking that way. That directly impacts the play. But if there's a guy streaking down the right side of the field with nobody between him and the end zone, and a wide receiver on the back left side of the field is blocking and gets a hold called, and it comes back, like, that's bullshit. Like, there's no reason that should be called. Like, dumb. So that's what I meant. But now I want to give some examples, okay? And yes, these are personal. Yes, there's way more out there. These were just a few examples I pulled up because they were fresh in my mind. But stuff like this happens every single week. So first things first, I'm going to show you some pictures, okay? I would like to prelude these pictures with the fact that Traub Blake, the head official for the Vikings-Ram game on Thursday night, okay, we all saw the face mask. We all saw the no call. It was egregious. Were we necessarily going to drive 90 yards and win the game? No, but you got to give the teams a chance to lose on their own. You don't make them lose with you don't hand them the L. This is on second down. It's not like it, Jordan Addison is standing wide open downfield on Sam Darnold's right where he's rolling out to when this play happens. So I would just like to say Traub Blake was asked about, why didn't you guys call it? And he said, none of the referees saw it, so we couldn't call it. So I'm going to pull up this picture and you tell me if
there's a ref right in front of
here's 3 pictures. Okay. These 2 are the same. This is just to show you where his eyes are at. Now they might even be like right here, but there's no way that you can miss that. There's no way. And then, like, because Traw Blake is this, he's the head official right here. He's the one that said we couldn't see it, so we couldn't call it, right? And I'll give it to you. Like, there's a small likelihood that, like, I can't really tell if his hand is in the face mask or just on it, so I can't call that. But there is no excuse for this. Zero excuse. And they all convened and talked about it after the play of, like, did you guys see anything? No, I didn't see anything. Okay, no call then. And there's another picture of Young, the defensive end, whenever he comes away from this play, he goes like this and shakes his head because he knew he grabbed the face mask. He was like, shit, I just gave them an extra down. And so this is egregious, okay? This wasn't called. Now, let's pull some other stuff up here. See if I can get this rolling. All right, so here's a third down, okay? Third down. This is called holding on Byron Murphy. On a third down that prolonged this into a scoring drive for the Rams. Rams scored a touchdown on this drive. Okay. This is a holding. Do you see a hold here? Anybody see any holds?
No.
Any holds at all? Okay.
He tugs on his jersey like just barely.
Here's this play. Anthony Richardson. No flag. No flag for roughing the passer on this play. They throw no flag.
Yeah, usually they throw it there too.
Look at this.
It's inconsistent. I get what you're saying. It's so inconsistent.
So
one more. Hold on. I have one more example. This one was called roughing the passer. Throws the ball, and they just like kind of collide. He doesn't like lower his shoulder. He doesn't hit him super hard. You can even see he tries to grab him right here and hold him up. You can see he's like trying to hold him up from falling. Like, and that's all my examples. But just to give an example of the we are dealing with when it comes to NFL referees and the inconsistency, it is unacceptable on every form.
There's a play that I saw too that Mahomes broke out for a long run, and you could see that he was going towards the sideline. Yeah. And obviously none of the guys are going to hit him because they're scared, it's going to be a penalty if he's even close to stepping out.
Yep.
And he stutters and then just takes off.
And then keeps going.
Yeah, and then stops and goes on.
That is something that's a problem in the NFL is the double standard when it comes to calling passing or not roughing the passer. Because Caleb, I'll give him one, like when he will try and sell a late hit or hit he thinks is dirty to try and get that flag, and they just won't give it to him. But then you have plays like that where Mahomes gets bumped into, none of them are paying attention, and the flags are everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, dude. It is.
They only call it for some guys.
And it's absolutely unacceptable. It's like the Kenny Pickett play from college when he fake slid and then just kept running.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly like that. And the NCAA stepped in that week and was like, nope, that's a penalty. You can't do that. We're nixing that right now. And I believe my third and final rule change that I would like to see implemented from the NFL is quarterbacks are only afforded quarterback protection inside the pocket. You're rolling out, you're a runner. You start breaking out and running, you're a runner. Like, end of story. Like, there is you want to keep quarterback protection? Stay in the pocket. You don't want to get big hits? Stay in the pocket. It's needed to balance the game because quarterbacks are getting so much help. And it's not fun to watch.
I wouldn't even be opposed to prevent what happened on that Mahomes play where he went towards the sideline and then cut it up.
Yeah.
If you are giving yourself up and then try and do something like that, the ball is ruled dead. Yeah. Where you were heading out of bounds at.
So that's another rule that makes me mad that they don't call correctly on the field. Nobody does, and I don't know why. But the slide, the quarterback giving himself up, right? They mark that down where his knee touches 8 times out of 10. It is supposed to be where he starts it when he starts the slide. That is the spot he's down, not where his knee touches, not where he ends up. It is the spot in which he starts the slide. And no, they'll get it right sometimes. I won't pretend like it's 100% incorrect, but there's a lot of times where like a guy will get a first down. I'm like, he started that slide 3 yards before the first down. Why did they give him that? Yeah. Or like 2 weeks ago when the Vikings played, or last week when the Vikings played when the Vikings played the Detroit Lions, there was a play where Sam Darnold slid and was like on the ground and Kirby Joseph hits him in the head with his shoulder pad. No call. just no call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a quarterback, and they just no call. But then you see that one with Mahomes right there, and it's a flag for just running into him. Like, there was nothing malicious about that. Mahomes throws it and then kind of drifts back, and the guy's looking and then looks and sees Mahomes and like, oh God, no. It wasn't anything malicious or
He wasn't
intentional.
trying to take his head off, nothing
Yeah,
like that.
he literally tried to grab him to catch him, and they still threw the flag. And you just, it was.
I mean, I think it's funny because we're in a new time, and it's college football as well. I'm seeing a lot of it, but each time I swear that I watch a game, I would say maybe 10 years ago, the announcers, the commentators, they wouldn't say anything about like, oh yeah, like that's definitely a flag. Blah, blah. Even whenever you see it's not one, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's one. Blah blah blah. They would never talk bad about a call. Now I see it almost every game,
and they're technically not allowed to.
They're not allowed to.
They're not.
You're right. Yeah, they're not supposed to be doing that at all. But it's like now I'm sitting here and I listen to it. And I'm like, holy crap! Like they're straight up just saying that's a bad call.
Yeah,
like that's
Troy Aikman did it a couple times last night.
Yeah.
When they're as bad as they've been, what are you supposed to do as an announcer?
Yeah.
Say, no, they made the right call. Like then you're.
And I swear to, I've seen it more this year than I have any other year.
I agree.
That I've watched football.
I agree.
It's embarrassing, honestly.
They'll get a replay off and they'll be like, I don't know about that one. That one's a little
just like that too.
Yep, that's what they always say. Like, I don't know.
Dean Blandino, what do you think about that play? You're the rules analyst. What do you think? And Dean will come in and be like, so on that play, you see how his foot is actually touching that third blade of grass? That actually makes that a legal formation. And the reason for that is every third blade of grass is actually deemed part of the line of scrimmage. So technically that was not a penalty, or it was a penalty, but a very unknown rule. And then they'll come back from break and be like, yeah, I don't know what they were seeing.
Yeah. No, straight up. You'll have the guy explain the call and say, hey, like this is what they're looking at, this is what they called, and then they'll come back to the commentator and he'll be like, yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah, they'll come back and they'll be like, yeah, I don't know about that one, Dean. But anyways, 2nd and 10 here.
And that, if you're seeing that when you're watching football, that should show that it's pretty bad right now.
Yeah. So, but all right. Well, that's my biggest loser, the NFL fandom, for that reason of poor officiating in the NFL and the negative state that officiating is at. Are you guys ready to be held accountable?
I hope it's decent.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, every week throughout the off season, we would go through and we would break down a week of the NFL season and predict it way back in June, July, part of August. Like this was going way back. So we had no clue what the teams would look like. We had no clue what the teams were going to be. This is all just, middle of July boredom, and let's see what we can do. So I'm going to pull up the games on the screen right now.
It's going to be bad, huh?
We went 8-8.
Again.
Yeah, we haven't got back over 500 in a while. We haven't got to double digits. Week 1 we were in double digits and we haven't got back since, and I'm really kind of starting to get upset. Really like to get back into double digit wins, but here we are nonetheless. The Rams 2-2. So the way we voted on this is we had a 4th member of the show at the time, and if there was a tie, it went to the home team. We all expected Baltimore to win this. We expected Jacksonville to be way better than they are, Miami to be way better than they are, the Jets to be way better than they are. Tampa Bay would have won this if not for their top 2 weapons being out.
I agree.
Washington may not have deserved to win this game, but I'm not sure either team did. The Chargers, Seattle losing at home is a big one. Cincinnati, that should be red. So we actually went 7-9. I don't know.
Well, oh yeah, never mind. We did pick Carolina to beat Denver.
Yeah. So Carolina. So we went 7-9. So I'll fix that real quick. So we went negative.
Is this our first week going negative?
It is our first week going fully negative. That sucks. I'll fix that after in just a second. Vegas beating Kansas City. That was kind of a hopeful trap game. I remember voting on this. I thought it was a trap game for sure. Yeah. San Francisco winning. We all everybody but our buddy Dalton, who's on the show at the time, picked San Francisco, and then Pittsburgh winning over the Giants at home was an easy one. So let's change this real quick. 7. and 9, and that would be hey, you know what that means? You know what that means? 54, and then the winning percentage on the season will actually go down. Or I don't know if it'll go down, but it'll change to divided by 69 is, I don't know, how does that go up? How does that go up? 55 divided by 69. 79%. It went up.
Did you do it wrong the first time?
Maybe.
When you had it at 75.
I
Still,
must
if
have.
we're getting almost 8 out of 10 games right,
But that's not right.
3 months
I don't think that's
before,
right.
That's not right. Hold on. That's not right because hold on. Hold the train here. Hold the train. Because it would be 69 plus 55. And then
we're at 55%.
Yeah, thank you. I was being very dumb for a second. All right, 55% on the season. That's still not terrible. That means if in June we had put money on every game so far, we would still be up technically. Or would we be? We'd won more than we
We'd probably
lost.
be up.
I don't know if ROI would be up, but we would definitely have won more than we lost. But so that is the week 8 schedule. That's how we did. And now let's move on to the part of the show where we predict the spread of each game for the upcoming week here. So I'll zoom in here a little bit for everybody. Whoa. Okay. All right. So first things first, we got Jets versus Texans. Ooh, what do you think here? So, real quick. I forgot to explain. If you haven't watched the show before, we do the spreads and the totals and money line. We talk about all of it. We pick a spread. We talk about the other two, but we pick the spread and then we assign a 1 to 5 star rating of how confident we are in that pick. So, for example, I will take Jets versus Texans. Does that say the Texans?
Yes, it does.
Are underdogs at home against the Jets?
No, they're on the road. It is in New York.
Okay. So
I don't know why that's backwards, but Vegas Insider has them all backwards. So the team listed first is actually the home team.
Okay. So Jets hosting the so we'll say it that way. Jets hosting the Texans. But are the Texans still underdogs here?
Yeah, they still are.
I'm 4-starring the Texans.
That's where I was going to go.
They always win close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is a 2-point game. I'm saying they win by 3 points. I'm saying they win by.
Yeah.
I'd say they win by more than 8 points. I'm taking the Texans plus 1.5 at a 4-star, no question.
Yeah,
and the only reason I'm not 5-starring it is because Stephon Diggs got hurt, and we could have some weapons issues because it's really just Tank Dell. But they're just going to stop Joe Mixon right now? Absolutely not. I am taking the Texans 4 stars all day.
Yeah, you don't even have to get to me. You can. I'm taking the same thing. I already had it ready to go. Texans 4-star minus or plus 1.5.
Riley?
I think this could be a sneaky game, but I'll go with the Texans in a 3-star.
All right. So we got Titans hosting the Patriots here. What do you guys think about this? I kind of like the Patriots plus 3.5. I think they can win this game, much less lose by a field goal.
Well, so Drake May got hurt. Is he?
Oh yeah, Drake May did get hurt. He's in concussion protocol. So
hey, Brenner, I think is it just me or is Brenner's mic cutting out a little bit?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take. I forgot Drake May was in concussion protocol. I'm going to assume Jacoby Brissett is starting, so I'm going to take the minus 3.5 is a lot of points for the Titans to win by, just because I think they're a bad team. I'm going to take the Titans at a 1-star.
I'm going to take the Patriots in a 2-star, whether they're starting Jacoby Brissett or Drake May. I just like the Patriots over the Titans.
Okay.
So 2 pretty bad offenses. The only difference between the two is that the Titans actually do have a decent defense. So I'm going to lean towards the Titans here at home, minus 3.5, and I'm going to 2-star that.
Oh, breaking news. The Vikings are expected to acquire Jaguars left tackle Cam Robinson in exchange for draft pick compensation. So we will be trading for Cam Robinson to replace Christian Darrisaw this year. So breaking news on the show. Sorry to interrupt you, Spoon.
No, I was done.
Okay, you were done? Okay. All right. Browns hosting the Chargers here. I'm gonna take the Chargers -2 and a 4-star. Chargers are allowing they're the number 1 defense in the NFL so far through this season. Harbaugh's got that team humming. I don't know what the Browns are going to do to stop them, but I like the Chargers.
I think this could be a close game. I'm going to lean towards the Chargers. You've got Justin Herbert coming off probably his best game of the year. Hopefully he can keep that going.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns here. So first off,
you guys are getting way too hyped up on the first backup quarterback game to beating the Ravens. This is not a good team.
I'm not super.
I took the Chargers. What did I?
I meant Spoon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I said you guys, Spoon.
The Browns are home. They do have Jameis Winston now instead of Deshaun Watson, and then Nick Chubb should be getting more reps this week as well. So I'm gonna take the Browns, but I'm only gonna 2-star that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you, and I would take the under on that game. By the way, take the under on
two pretty good defenses. I would definitely hit that under as well.
All right. So we got Panthers hosting the Saints here. The Panthers have been so bad, dude. 7 points is like 3 points in a normal game. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints -7 because the Panthers are so bad, and I'm gonna 2-star that. I'm not super confident in it, but the Panthers are so bad. Don't bet on a bad team to do good ever. So I'm gonna take the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints. I think the Panthers are a struggling franchise. They're now trading away players they just acquired in the offseason. I don't think they have any direction. I'm going to go with the Saints.
I don't love either one of the spread. I don't love the spread at all because
I don't love either of them.
I don't think the Saints are so good that they need to be a 7-point favorite over any team right now. I know that the Panthers are just terrible, but the Saints they're struggling as well. I guess I would lean towards the Saints, but I'm going to 1-star either way, no matter what. I don't love this game at all.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right. We got Bills hosting the Dolphins here. I like Bills -6, even in a divisional game. If it was at Miami, I would take Miami, but I'm going to Bills -6. I'm going to 3-star that.
So very few people know this. Josh Allen, the superstar quarterback, he's also a part-time owner of the Miami Dolphins. So I will hammer the Bills in a 4-star.
All right. Spoon?
So, yes, Tua's back. That offense obviously needs a little pickup here, but the Bills' defense is playing pretty decent right now. The Dolphins' defense is just terrible. They're not good. I think Josh Allen is going to throw all over this Dolphins defense, especially with the Bills being at home. I'm going to take them -6. I'm going to 3-star that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So we got Falcons hosting the Cowboys. Spoon, do you remember what I said about this game this offseason? You know what this game is?
Yeah, I remember something.
So we have Kirk Cousins against Mike Zimmer.
Yep, that's what it was.
This is the Kirko versus Zim game. For those of you who don't know, there was a lot of animosity there when they were both in Minnesota. Zimmer never wanted Kirk in there. He wanted to spend the money on the defense. The general manager saw an opportunity to get a high-level quarterback in the building and took it, regardless of money. It was not well received by Zimmer. There were many reports of Kirk asking Zim to meet once a week to go over the game plan, and Zim being like, "I have a defense to take care of. Go talk to your quarterback coach." Not meeting with your quarterback, not talking to him. So Kirk never really felt embraced by Zim at all, and so the team is just never on the same page. There's the infamous Colts comeback game or not Colts comeback game, Giants comeback game where they were celebrating on the sideline and they like grabbed each other and they were shoving each other out of like it looked very like aggressive and negative, but it was right after a win, so people were like, "What?" Like everything about it was weird. So I'm gonna take the Falcons -2.5 at home. I think Kirk gets his revenge on Zim here. I love Zim. I've stated that several times. I think he's been a bit of a sore loser in the whole situation and not exactly handled it as gracefully as I would have hoped, but I still love the guy. He gave everything he had to the Vikings in an attempt to win a Super Bowl, and I love him for that. But I'm going to take Kirk O'Chains -2.5, 3 stars.
Man, it's hard. I want to go for the Falcons, but I just have one of those feelings. You know what I mean? And I got to go with it. Give me the Cowboys in a 3-star.
Spoon?
Personally, looking at this spread, I believe it should be Falcons favored by like -5.5, not -2.5. So give me that -2.5. I'm going to 4-star that.
All right. Then we have the Ravens hosting the Broncos, one of the best defenses in the NFL, going up against maybe the best offense in the NFL, period. Especially now after acquiring Deontay Johnson. The Ravens are -9 coming off a loss to the Browns in a tough road divisional game. They get to come home against the Broncos. Bo Nix has not exactly played great this season. He's had 2 really good games, one against the Raiders, one against... Who's the other team he played with? Oh, Carolina. Carolina and the Raiders were his 2 good games. Every other game, he's had a quarterback rating below 85. So, and for those of you who don't know, 98 is kind of like your average good game for a quarterback. Not like great game, but like, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns type game is like a 98. So for him to be at an 85 or lower, most lower, I think he had an 85 and 84, and then the rest were in the 60s and 70s. I don't think that as bad as this Ravens defense has been, and we've talked about it, I just don't think the Broncos will be able to stop Lamar, but I do think it will be less than a 10-point win. Therefore, give me the Broncos in a 2-star.
I'm going to take the Ravens in a 3-star. I get the Broncos have they've done a lot better than people were expecting coming into the season, but I still don't think they're in a place to compete with the upper echelon teams, and I think the Ravens are one of those.
Spoon?
So, the Ravens have had 3. This will be the 3rd game, or maybe they've already had 3 games where they were favored by 7 points or more. They have not been able to cover that spread. I'm taking the Broncos plus 9.5, and I'm going to 2-star that. Oh, I have it at 9.5. You have it at 9, but
yeah. Well, either way, jump on that quick because I'm sure that line will move closer to 0.
Yeah.
So I would get on that line sooner rather than later. Next up, we have the Bengals hosting the Raiders. I'm going to take the Bengals -7.5 here. I think that offense is really good. I think Philly had a great game, and they played tough, but I really do believe that Bengals offense is really good. Their defense is garbage, but that offense can be really, really good, especially with T. Higgins out there, and he should be back this week healthy. So I am going to take the Bengals -7.5, but only in a 1-star because 7.5 is a lot of points. I will not be betting on this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders just because the spread is so big. And it seems like every week the problem with the Bengals is something new. One week their defense is terrible and their offense is performing out of this world. And then the next game, the defense holds the team to 17 points and the offense.
You're cutting in and out. We didn't get that. Cutting in and out.
Nope. Am I back now?
Yep. Your voice is just cutting in and out.
So every week it's something new with the Bengals. Give me the Raiders.
Okay. All right. Spoon?
Yeah, so I think Cincinnati wins this game, but I don't think they're going to win by 8 points or more. I think it's going to be closer. Give me the Raiders plus 7.5, and I'm going to 3-star that.
All right. Well,
I don't believe in the Bengals.
Giants
Right.
hosting the Commanders. I am going to take the Commanders minus 3.5 and 5-star that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Commanders and 5-star that.
I'm going to also say, screw the spread here. Just go money line. That minus 180 is not very big. Just go money line here.
Yeah, I don't see a world where I know it's a division game and the Giants are home, but the Giants are just so bad.
So bad.
I would possibly be looking at that over maybe at 43.5. Well, you have it at, yeah, it's 43.5.
Yeah, I got
I
it. 43.5
don't
too.
think either defense is really that good, and the Commanders just played their best defense last week, so I see them maybe coming back to earth a little bit
You're
this
resting
week.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm taking the Commanders minus 3.5. I'm not going to complete the sweep. I am going to 4-star that. Not 5-star, but I'm still a 4-star. I still would probably take it. I would bet on it.
All right. Well, we got the Cardinals hosting the Bears. Bradley, I'll let you go first on this one. What do you feel like on this one? I'm curious because I've seen a lot of Bears fans talk about this game.
So I think our defense has proven that they will keep us in any game we're in. We've lost to 2 6-2 teams and a 4-4 team, and we lost all of those games by less than a score. Give me the Bears in a 3-star, but because it's the Bears, I'm going to tell the audience at home to just not bet on the Bears.
Fair enough. I'm going to take the Bears because I just can't. Call of Duty's out, man. Kyler Murray's going to look terrible this year. He's playing the Bears defense and COD is out. He's fucked. Like, he's going to be so bad this week. So I'm going to take the Bears +1, and I'm going to 3-star it. Spoon?
Yeah, man, this game could go any way.
No, it can't because
I feel
Kyler
like it
Murray's
could.
playing Call of Duty right now.
I'm still going to take the Bears, but I'm only going to 2-star it.
All right. Well, we got the Eagles hosting the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Jaguars +7.5. I feel like Philly had a big blowout win last week. I don't feel like they're that kind of team to just keep doing that every week. And so I'm going to take the Jaguars +7.5. I feel like they could go blow for blow, and this will come down to a field goal.
I'm going to
2 stars. 2 stars.
I'm going to take the Eagles in a 2-star. The reason it's a 2-star, the spread's a little bit big, but I just think the Jaguars are a bad football team, and I think the Eagles are a top 10 team right now.
Yeah, I don't love the 7. If it was 6.5, I might take the Eagles, but with it being 7.5, that means if it's a tie game with 7 minutes left in the fourth and the Eagles get a touchdown, they win by a full score, like you still lose. So
yeah,
I don't love it. Spoon?
I could see it being a 10-point game.
Maybe.
So I'm taking the Eagles -7.5. I think their offense is clicking. I think they actually do have one of the hotter offenses in the NFL right now. I'm gonna 3-star their spread -7.5.
All right. Well, we got the Seahawks hosting the Rams. I'm going to hammer the Rams. You saw how good they can be offensively with Puka and Cooper back. I'm going to tell you right now, they did not play to the highest level they could against the Vikings, and they put up 30 points. They didn't have a turnover. They moved the ball very efficiently. I like the way the Rams look. The Rams are going to make the playoffs most likely. It'll be third place in the NFC North or the Rams at this point, in my opinion. So give me the Rams in a 5-star -1.5 on the road. I just don't see them losing this game.
Give me the Rams in a 2-star. I think this is going to be a close game, but I do like the under on this one.
The under?
Yes. I like the under on this one.
All right.
So you said it yourself. The Seahawks are not a very good team at home this year.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to follow that trend. I'm going to go with the Rams -1.5, and I'm going to 4-star that.
I like it. All right. I mean, I do not know how Vikings Colts got flexed to Sunday Night Football when Packers Lions is on this.
That's literally the question I was about to ask. I don't know why this game is not the Sunday Night Football game. They have been screwing up the Sunday Night Football game.
I think it's only because the Vikings don't have a Sunday Night Football game all season. So I think that's why they did it before it starts to really matter. I mean, Packers, Lions, Packers plus 3.5. They're not going to have Jordan Love. I'm going to take the Lions minus 3.5 and a 2-star.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions at minus 3.5. I'll go ahead and 3-star it. But yeah, I could see this game going either way.
So I get it's a division game, but not having Jordan Love is a huge problem. The Lions are just the hottest team in the NFL right now. I think they could easily beat the Packers right now without Jordan Love by 2 touchdowns at least. I'm going to take the Lions minus 3.5, and I'm going to 4-star that.
I will say 2 things. I'm sticking with my Lions pick, but Malik Willis is undefeated. And there's the stat. I don't remember what it is, but Riley can attest to this. Jared Goff outdoors is a shell of himself comparatively to indoors. And Jared Goff plays like, I think, 14 of his 17 games indoors this season. And this and the Bears game are 2 of the games he plays outdoors this season. I wouldn't be surprised to see this as a close game. I still think the Lions win it, but a 5-6 point game wouldn't shock me at all. But all right, Vikings versus hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Vikings are minus 5. We're gonna get Joe Flacco versus Sam Darnold, the matchup we all expected back in July. I'm gonna 2-star the Vikings on this one. We're at home. We're the best first quarter team in the NFL. I think we have a bounce back week. We just got Cam Robinson, who's going to be able to shore off that left side of the O-line now. I would have definitely 1-starred the Vikings 35 minutes ago, but with a legitimate left tackle in there now, I'm not as worried about it with Sam Darnold. I think this Colts defense is not very good. Joe Flacco's going to get his. He's going to have 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, probably an interception. But I don't feel like the Colts are going to be able to outpace the Vikings enough to get within 5 points. I'm going to take the Vikings minus 5 in a 3-star.
Man, this is tough. I want to preface this by saying I think the Vikings are going to win. But yeah. I think I'm going to go with the Colts. I could see this being a field goal game at the end of the game winner type thing.
Well, it's a Vikings game. Every game could be that.
Yeah. But, yeah, just because of the line, I'll go with the Colts, but I'll 1-star it.
Spoon?
So I just want to point out before I name my pick, and I'm sorry, I'm not hating on the Vikings at all, but I would have much rather watched the Rams and the Seahawks play or the Dolphins and the Bills play here. NFL, you screwed it up again. But I'm taking the Vikings. It's pretty easy for me too. I think the Vikings get back on track at home this week, and I'm gonna 3-star them minus 5.
All right, I like it. All right, Chiefs hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay. The Baker train is staying in the station for a couple more weeks. I am taking the Chiefs minus 8.5. I see this as like a 28-14 ball game. Probably a turnover or 2 out of Tampa Bay. I don't know if those are fumbles, interceptions. I don't know what they are, but this Chiefs defense is playing at an elite level. They haven't allowed 28 or more points in like a season and a half. I'm going to take Kansas City minus 8.5 at home. 3 stars.
I'm getting a lot of the same vibes as the last game. I think the Chiefs will win, but I don't like the spread. Give me the Bucks and a 2-star. I could see this being a close game. Baker just having an insane game out of nowhere.
Throwing to.
It's Baker.
He's gonna throw the ball no matter what.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's down there.
He's gonna throw it. Yeah, he's gonna throw it. That's what worries me. Spoon?
Okay. Well,
Booze
I
fight
had
demons,
I had to check something because I wanted to make sure that it's kind of accurate. I mean, it is 8.5 is a lot of points.
It is.
And the Chiefs haven't really blown any good team. Because I mean, I guess
But
you
this
could say
isn't
that
a
they-
good team. This is not a good team. Bad defense, no weapons. Baker's the best part about this team. This is not a good team. If they were like this all season, they'd be a 5-win squad.
Give me the Bucks plus 8.5. 2
You
stars.
solidified it with that comment.
That's fine. I
You
believe
had
it.
Spoon on the fence, and then you said that. He's like, I'm doubling down.
He's like, fuck you.
I mean, the Chiefs have a good defense, but their offense really isn't anything
I mean, you
spectacular.
gotta do the
I
Baker
think
thing.
I think
gotta-
this could. Okay,
You got to pull the horn. If you're going to bet
I'm
on the
pulling
Bucs,
it. I'm staying with.
there you
I'm
go.
staying on the train. I'm not
I
hopping
love
off.
it. I love it.
Give me the Bucks in a 2-star.
All right. Well, that is the entire slate for this week. All right. So I got just a few news and notes for you guys here. We went over everything. We picked the spreads. We held ourselves accountable. We talked about biggest winners, biggest losers. Wrap up the show here. Let's talk a little news and notes here. Richardson gets benched. That's rough. Yeah. I mean,
Embarrassing.
we talked about it a little earlier. I mean, I'm not trying to spend too much time on it because it's kind of self-explanatory. His effort level is low. He's not throwing the ball well. Joe Flacco gives him a better chance to win now. Any disagreements there?
No, not at all. It's just a matter of what direction does the franchise go from here?
Because they're at rock bottom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, like I think. I mean, obviously, Richardson's not playing his best that I think he could play at. He's not throwing the ball very well, but it's like you don't bench him. You let him work through his kinks. You let him play it out. You don't that's your best hope for the future. And you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to take a step back. We're going to let this old 40-something-year-old Joe Flacco take the helm.
Comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco.
I get that. He's good, but it's like you gotta work with what you have.
And what
you're moving forward with.
When you put it in context, like he only played 4 games last year, right?
Yep.
So he didn't get a full rookie season to get his feet.
Yeah, no, he's only 10 games into his career.
Yeah, and they're benching him already. I mean, that just screams poverty franchise to me.
Yeah, I don't. There was a beautiful quote. It was in one of me and Riley's group chats today. Kevin O'Connell said this about J.J. McCarthy earlier this year. He said, and they were talking to him about J.J. McCarthy. He didn't say it about J.J. He's just talking about, Kevin O'Connell being a rookie quarterback in the league and what that was like and this and that. And, seeing the Manziel situation firsthand and seeing the Jacoby Brissett situation firsthand and how like first year quarterbacks are handled. And Kevin O'Connell said that, organizations fail young quarterbacks more often than young quarterbacks fail organizations. And I cannot think of a situation right now where it is more true than what is going on in Indy. They are not setting him up for success. They are making him run a full offense he's not prepared to run. He was a project quarterback. They took him because he runs a 4.3 and he's 6'5", 250 pounds. And he has a cannon. Okay. He's a project guy. You don't sit a project guy 10 games in.
And
you gotta let him learn.
Can I throw something else out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like we keep having these mobile running quarterbacks come out of college and they get drafted by a team, and rather than molding the offense to shape that player's skill set like Baltimore did with Lamar, they completely changed that offense.
Absolutely.
Into a run heavy, what Lamar can do now. But with Anthony Richardson, they're kind of throwing him out there and saying, run an NFL offense. We don't
run our offense.
We don't want you to do what you did in college. The reason we drafted you, we want you to do this instead. And I feel like it keeps happening with these high prospect running quarterbacks.
That's the difference between good coaching and great coaching. Good coaches can run a scheme and have a quarterback who can run that scheme and run it at a high level. Great great coaching can take any player and fit the offense around that player to make them good. Yes. So Next up, Diggs tears his ACL. He'll be out for the season. Stephon Diggs is done. That leaves Houston with a few less weapons right now. Nico Collins should be back later in the season. Tank Dell, obviously. Joe Mixon still playing at a high level. I think they'll be okay long term. And then last but not least, breaking on this episode, Vikings trade for Cam Robinson, left tackle of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a move that definitely shocks me. Let me see here. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see. So he's drafted in 2017, I know. It doesn't tell me here what his... Yeah, it doesn't tell me here what his contract situation is.
Because I'm curious, because he's a better offensive tackle in the league, isn't he?
So, yes, he's been a really good offensive tackle. I don't think he's ever made a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro or anything like that.
Looks like he's just under a 1-year deal.
It is it? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it shows. Hold on. No, he signed it 3 years ago. Well, he signed it in 2022 for 3 years, so this is the last year of his contract.
So he's in the last year of his deal. I know he was due like 15 million or 16 million, right?
Yeah, he's due 16 mil this year.
Because that was going to be my next question. If he was under contract, what do the Vikings do when their left tackle becomes healthy again?
And I was wondering if they were maybe considering a guard move, like move Robinson inside the guard. But no, he's due. Cap hits $21 million this year. He's an unrestricted free agent next year, and who knows? Maybe he likes being in the building so much he comes in. And he goes, "Yeah, I would love to move to guard for you guys." But I would assume this is a 1-year rental just to keep us competitive, legitimately competitive, instead of having. Yeah, exactly. A Band-Aid, or well, I would look at it more as a cast. There's a broken bone. Losing your all-pro top 3 tackle is a broken bone. This is a cast that makes it to where you can walk again. You're in a boot, right? Probably won't run, but you can definitely walk and get around. So let's see. It just got released. Robinson, the Vikings get Cam Robinson and a conditional 2026 7th that can go away based on playtime. Jaguars get a conditional 5th that can become a 4th based on playtime. So sounds like most likely Vikings get Cam in a 7th and they'll give up a 4th in 2026 because I would assume he'll play. Yeah, seriously. But all right, anybody got anything else I want to say?
Nope.
Anything else I want to add?
Nope.
All right. Well, that is it for us. Make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate it. When we will see y'all next week, and don't forget to check out our Friday Film Room episode. This week we'll be doing Jaden Daniels, so make sure to tune into that on Friday. Peace out.